Today, in the world of cannabis, the country of Morocco heads toward medical and industrial cannabis legalization. Lawmakers in New York State finally reach an agreement on recreational cannabis legalization, and the Biden White House doubles down on its decision to fire some staffers for past cannabis use. It's Friday, March 26th, and this is your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, according to the Africa report, the government of Morocco has passed a measure that allows cannabis to be used for medical, cosmetic, and industrial purposes. The legislation was introduced by Abdelouafi Laftit, head of the Interior Ministry, and it opens up the possibility of medical cannabis legalization and the regulation of its cultivation. The goal of the measure is to gain access to the global legal cannabis market and also aims to improve farmers' incomes and protect them from drug trafficking networks, which are primarily based in Morocco's northern Rif Mountains. The proposed legislation must also be debated and approved by the full parliament. Morocco lawmakers are now pushing for legalization at great speed. This comes after the World Health Organization last year officially recognized the medicinal efficacy of cannabis, and the United Nations exempted it from its narcotics list, a measure that the Moroccan government backed.
And next, the New York Times reports that lawmakers in New York State have reached an agreement to legalize recreational cannabis statewide, making it potentially one of the nation's biggest markets if approved. After multiple unsuccessful attempts, lawmakers agreed to legalize cannabis for adult use, a step that politicians believe would assist in ending years of racially discriminatory enforcement that resulted in Black and Hispanic citizens being prosecuted much more often than white people for low-level possession charges. As per information gathered by the New York Times, the policy would permit for cannabis delivery and the establishment of lounges, cafe, and consumption sites where cannabis, but not alcohol, can be enjoyed. An individual would be permitted to grow up to 6 cannabis plants at home, either indoors or outdoors. Lawmakers must first compose the regulations that would govern a heavily controlled sector, from the management of distributors and dispensaries to the issuance of cultivation and retail permits, as well as the establishment of new taxes and a control panel to monitor the industry if the measure is authorized. And
last up, in a report by the Huffington Post, the White House doubled down on its decision to lay off 5 aides for past cannabis consumption, with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki claiming that other security issues played a role in the decision. When a reporter questioned Psaki on why President Joe Biden's administration made the decision while staff had been led to believe that pot use would not be disqualifying, Psaki maintained that the government had collaborated with the intelligence agency, which makes this determination, adding that, in the past, the rules were actually far more stringent. Marijuana is legal in a number of states across the country. It is still illegal federally, Psaki said. If marijuana was federally legal, that would be a different circumstance. Other staffers, according to Psaki, who would have been rejected from serving during past presidential administrations because of tougher rules, are now employed in Biden's administration.
That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit TRICHOMES.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech in Cannabis, or Careers in Cannabis, wherever you get your podcasts. For TRICHOMES.com, I'm David Fortin.
And I'm Devin Leal. Have a great weekend.